Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. I have Tricia Benn. She is the general manager of the Hero Club, and she is also the executive vice president of CSuite Network. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be on the show. Thanks for being here, Tricia.
Thank you so much, Michael. I'm thrilled to be here with you.
Give us a little background, some color on you, and then I have a series of questions about the Hero Club, its origins, things of that nature.
Thank you. Well, so the background on me is I came from 3 enterprise-sized organizations, worked my way through, and in the first organization, I was the youngest vice president in North America. I found out that as a Canadian, I was always going to be probably the nicest disruptor, but a disruptor nonetheless. And I found out I love business. I love business models. I love seeing great people succeed. And so coming into the CSuite Network, certainly has created a whole new opportunity for me. The last role I was in was a chief marketing and strategy officer globally within a $3 billion company. And I had P&L responsibilities for one of our US businesses based out of New York. And that's when I discovered the CSuite Network, came on board as one of the first sponsors about 5 years ago. And then about 3 years ago, I came on team, and now I'm so thrilled to be a partner in that business. And what we're doing, our mission in terms of the entire CSuite Network platform, and then also the Hero Club, which is essentially the heart and soul of what we value in business leadership and building great businesses with impact.
Great. Now, the origins. Let's go there first.
So the origin, so there's 2 components, and sometimes it can be a little bit confusing because there's this whole ecosystem and world that we're creating for executives with our partners and members and so on. But let me start with the larger platform. The CSuite Network is essentially just a ecosystem for executives to enter in and get everything they need to be successful. And so we do that by providing a platform for content. So CSuite TV, CSuite Radio. We have various newsletters and websites and so on. So there's a whole slew of ways that we drive content out into the market for executives specifically. And if I just took one example, our CSuite Radio, we have over 120 podcasts that we distribute. We're the largest radio business podcast platform in the world. And we're so excited about how that's building. It's growing exponentially right now. And that's an exciting way to reach, obviously, business leaders. We also have an event focus. So we run over 60 live events across North America. We also have various partnered events that we speak at, moderate, and so on. And then we have our members who are hosting events that we're supporting and driving in membership and executive participation in those events. So we are certainly road warriors. We have another whole section of our membership in our ecosystem is our services and benefits for executives. So any partners that want to be providing great services to executives to help them succeed, that's where that's coming from. So we have everything from MD Live to transcription services, Clear, to get you through the airport faster, all things that help executives move faster. And then finally, we have our councils. And our councils are sort of subgroups of our membership. So we have about 350,000 executives in our wider membership. And then we have these subgroups, let's call them councils. And they focus on either specific titles. So the Hero Club is for CEOs, founders, and investors. We have some that's for CMOs, CFOs, CHR, etc. And then we also have subject areas. So cybersecurity, health and wellness, those types of things. And then we also have groupings that are sort of like masterminds. They're focused on a very specific area. So one of the oldest masterminds we have in the CSuite Network Council is all independent brokerage owners. And so all of these groups run in concert with the entire CSuite Network and then are able to provide all the benefits and services of CSuite Network without having to provide and build all that infrastructure that we have in place.
Brilliant.
So
What
that's
about,
the CSuite Network, Michael.
thank you. What about hero leadership?
So hero leadership is really demonstrated and it couldn't be more fully explained than to tell the origin story of the Hero Club with Rob Ryan. And most people don't know his name. He doesn't look like the superheroes of the cartoons and so on that we watch, but he is absolutely a hero. And what he did was he built Ascend Communications from the ground up, sold it for over $20 billion to Lucent. In the beginning of 1999, the deal went through. And he and his wife, who was the chief legal counsel, profit shared with every single employee, even though there was no obligation to do so. And so we truly believe not only was it the largest private tech sale ever, and the record held for 17 years, until LinkedIn was acquired, by the way, but also we believe we've never been corrupted, that he created more millionaires in one day than has ever been done. And so when we look at leadership and what it means to have real impact, what Rob Ryan did in that moment in truly changing people's lives and making it so that they could be heroes as well. And then forming the Hero Club, obviously, to find more like-minded leaders who will do the exact same thing as they're building their businesses and when they get to their successful exits and round again. And that's what the Hero Club is all about.
Now, one of your mantras is business success, putting people over profits. And I would like to understand how you make that balance between people and profits.
The whole thing about what we call the hero factor, and Jeffrey Hazlett was our co-founder of the CSuite Network and is our chairman, CSuite Network and Hero Club. He's the one that Rob Ryan tapped on the shoulder to really take over the mission of the Hero Club. And it's about operational success. There's no reason to slow down. There's no reason to apologize for success. The whole point is it needs to be married to what is your mission, what are your values, and how do you get your people aligned around that to drive even greater, faster success? And you know, that's where true profitability and success lies. Not only do you have the fulfillment and success of accomplishing something great and making a difference in our communities, our economy, our democracy across the world, but also you have the opportunity to really impact and drive change and make other opportunities happen as well.
Now, one of the other processes you go through is being able to introduce servant mentality throughout the network. Talk to me about that.
So what we do, and this is why I said the heart and soul for us of what our whole business build is in the CSuite Network and the alignment with the Hero Club, is really about how do we make that difference and how do we give back. So every time we bring our members together, we do something that's a give back. When we were in Vegas recently for a member meeting, we all gathered before we flew out of the city. We finished up our meetings. We headed to essentially a food packing area that one of our members, they own Sababa Water, supports, and they have many of these centers. And we packed over 3,000 meal bags. And we had a great time doing it. We had fun together, and we did something good. We were able to help 3,000 children in the Las Vegas area with food that they would go home with that weekend. We have another meeting coming up in South Dakota in September, and for that one, we're supporting an organization that produces shoes and boots for the outdoors. Well, we're climbing Crazy Horse. I don't know if you know that story, Michael. Do you know the story of Crazy Horse?
Tell me about it.
So he was a hero. He was certainly a hero of the Native peoples in South Dakota. A family has taken it upon themselves to build this monument where Mount Rushmore is not very far away, and it would fit under the arm. If you can, let me see if I can do the visual properly here. Right here. That's how big Mount Rushmore is compared to Crazy Horse. And so it's this monumental task. And they're going to be hosting us. They're part of the Hero Club as well. And we're going to walk right out on the arm of Crazy Horse. We're going to learn what it is to have the courage of conviction, to take on a project that's not only, you know, as I said, monumental, but is going to take the better part of over, 100 years. And the commitment to do that without any government funding, by the way, and truly tell that hero's story is something obviously that's incredibly inspiring and something we want to share with our members. So while we're there, we're going to be supplying hiking shoes and boots where go to veterans. And that's going to be our give back, and we'll be well suited for doing the climbing we need to do at Crazy Horse.
Now, in closing, give our audience a full flavor for the hero movement.
The hero movement, it is about bringing together like-minded leaders and really helping everybody to understand that you do see bad actors in the news, and there's no shortage of that with now Me Too. It's not just power and success, that people see as, the bad acting that's covered in the news, but also the whole Me Too movement. There's all of that perspective as well. And so those bad stories get told, and they typically impact a lot of people. What doesn't get told is all of the phenomenal work that growth-minded CEOs, founders, and investors are doing to support their communities. They're the ones who give back to, we give back to Little League, the Symphony, all the things that make our communities great. And, the backbone of the economy. We know that in theory. I mentioned earlier about the support of our democracies. Well, globally, people care about this story. People care about building businesses that are successful and have a great positive impact. And that diversification of wealth means diversification of power, and it truly is a critical component. And Rob Ryan wanted that message told, which is a huge part of why he tapped Jeffrey on the shoulder for us to acquire the Hero Club. And so, we continue on this mission, and our whole goal is how we help those great leaders succeed faster, because we know they're doing great. They care about more than just profitability, and they're going to have the most successful, sustainable, adaptable businesses, and the loyalty, with their employees, their customers, and so on. And so we want to share that story. We want to bring those leaders together and bring them into this ecosystem where they can let down the armor and work through the challenges. And it's not an easy path. I think it's the most difficult and the most challenging role that anyone could choose to take, to be an entrepreneur, to lead a business through scaling growth. And so we're about those leaders and really just supporting them through all of that.
Great. I'm glad to be a part of the CSuite family, and I've recently joined up with them, and I look forward to seeing you really soon.
So thrilled to. I can't wait to see you soon too, Michael.
Thanks, Tricia. All right, you've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.